People tell me I haven't employees. You really haven't succeeded. Well, let me tell you, over 40 years running solo, they're dead wrong. Solo operations is not a failure. It's a strategic plan, and it takes a lot of working out. G'day viewers, it's Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. Today's video is about the solo operator. If you're employing people, it's probably not the video for you. But let me stop here. If you do employ people, if you do grow, I take my hat off to you. I congratulate you. It is an absolute tremendous feat to actually start from solo and build with many employees and build the company up. That is a feat, but it's not for everybody. Everybody thinks you have to grow. Everybody thinks you have to have employees. Look, I'm getting a little bit fed up. I've seen a lot of social media stuff lately saying that most of solar operators really want to grow and they should do this and they should have that. Well, I reckon they're wrong, because 90%, 80 to 90% in Australia are sole operators, and they may have a casual employee. Look, they might have one employee, but they're still regarded as solo. Look, it's not for everyone growing, employing people. You know, it takes a lot of planning. You have to have good systems in place to run a successful business that employs people. You have to treat the employees as employees, not as an extension or as a helper. It's a different world, and it really can work, but it takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of risk involved, and not everybody can do it. Look, not many people can run their own business neither, but to have employees, that is the next level up. And some people have got it and some haven't. Let's tackle this head on. Some people say that if you haven't got employees and you're not growing, you're not really a business if you're solo. What an absolute lot of rubbish. Solo operators takes a special thing. Now, you've got to remember, when you're operating as a solo operator, 80% of the turnover really comes back to you. There's 20 or 30% in costs of running a business. I know some guys it's down 10%. As soon as you put an employee on, you're not going to get 80% profit out of that employee. You might get 20 or 30%. And you've got to remember too, when the employee's sitting in your car and you're stuck in a traffic jam, you're still paying him, but you're not getting any billable hours out of him. They are paid 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, whether you can't work those hours, you cannot possibly work an 8-hour day without, unless you're stuck on the site from morning till night on one. But the mobile employees running around, there's a lot of time wasted. There's a lot of unbillable hours. So you've got to really make sure you know what your costs are, and making sure that you look at the end of the day that you're actually still making a profit. You take yourself out of the business, put someone else to replace you. You need to be able to make sure that there's money left over at the end of the day. And I bet you if you sat down and worked those calculations, you might be in for a big surprise. The other benefit, of course, with solo is the independence. You can work when you want to work. If you've got someone with you, you've got to be on the tools with them, or even if you're off the tools, you've still got to be putting 100% effort into the business. Not that solos don't put 100% into the business, but it's important to remember when you're working, you have to look at what the big picture. And sometimes when you're on your own, it gets difficult, but you can take time off. You can spend more time with your family. And there's many solar operators in Australia that earn 3 figures. And some of those figures have a 2 in front of them. And I even know a guy that had a 3 in front of him. Wow. What do you think about that? Because a simple half a dozen lawns a day, costed and priced at the right price, there's 100 grand easy made. And that is easy money. Half days, 5, you can actually get there right easy. I work 3 small days and a commercial day. Those 3 figures is quite easily achievable. So put myself back in a 19, 20-year-old body again, and I double, triple my output. Gee, the world's to my advantage. Burnout, of course, is a thing you've got to watch as solo, and that's a disadvantage. You don't have those employees to lean on. You've got to do it yourself, and you can come unstuck. But there is a way around it. Making sure that your costings are good on, you're charging a good rate. But the thing is, networking with other contracts, boy, is it so good these days. Look, back in our day, no one would talk to each other. But now, pick up the phone. Listen, Jack, can you give us a hand on this job? without a shadow of a doubt, anyone will help you any day of the week. So if you're quoting for a large job, ring up a contract that you know well, go and have a look at it and do the job together. So you can actually do the big jobs, make a good profit, and at the end of the day, you're covering all the bases without actually employing someone. When you have employees, we all know the rules and regulations, the occupational and safety. There's so many more commitments you've got to be concerned about. And of course, you've got to have the money there all the time to be able to pay your employees, putting away their taxes, their superannuation. Look, don't get me wrong, people that are marked and can employ people do very well. Very successful businesses have grown. I told you in many videos ago, when I first started, someone else started, they employ 500 people. They are loaded. They really have done it well. But gee, it takes a special person. I can't do it. Look, I tried employing people, but it wasn't for me. I didn't want to go down that track. I went into this business. I've been doing it 40 years. I've been making six figures year after year after year. And I've done it because I've got reliability. I've been good with my clients. I've costed it well over the years, and that's why I love it. The thing is why I went into it is that it's on my own terms. I don't have to worry about anyone else. There is a big proviso, of course, your health. If your health is not there, employing people, working off the tools, obviously that's the way to go, and there's many people that are doing that successfully. So I'm not knocking employing people. I'm not knocking people growing. But please don't knock people as solo operators that are working very well, are earning really good money, and enjoying life. They're actually using it as a lifestyle. To me, we talked about the life-work balance. We work to live, live to work. It's amazing how people get tied up in the technical part. This industry is simple. There's too many videos, there's too much information out there that make too many complicated ways to run our business. It's simple. We mow a lawn, we do a garden, we cost it right. You don't need all this technical jargon going on, making it difficult. Look, I know many people that run solo have done excellent. There's going to be the ones that have failed, that haven't got the work, it can't get there. Sometimes people are not meant for business, and the same with people employing people. A lot of people have taken a risk and have gone broke as well. So just beware of your limitations. Look, viewers, that's just my take on it. I get a bit hoisty about people criticising any other trade. And look, they may not be criticising intentionally, but the inference is there. You must grow, you must have employers. Bullshit. You don't need to do that. Just stick to what you know. If you enjoy working as solo, don't give it away, guys and girls. This is such a great profession, and I just love being able to go home when I want to go home. And look, looking after, today I'm up on the farm, mucking around in the garden, having a great time. Couldn't do that if I had employees, because I'd be worried, about what they're doing and setting them up and all that type of thing. Even if I did work over, off the tools, I still got to put my time into the business. Viewers, look, what do you think? Do you want to grow? Let me know, and I congratulate you. Please let me know. And what do you think about running solo? I'd like to hear your comments. Please share, and please like, and look, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're really starting to move along with the channel now. Our views are really getting good. The feedback is more important. The amount of emails I get externally, and texts and phone calls even. I'm a bit taken back, but I love it. It's fantastic. See you in the next one. Bye.